Thank you for attending today's D3M webinar on collaboration. So in this webinar, we're going to touch on the different ways you can collaborate in D3M with your team. So a lot of people sometimes assume D3M is just for themselves, but the best part of it is when you actually have a full organization of your colleagues where you can share and help each other on different projects. Now, before we jump in, I just want to mention a few housekeeping rules. I've muted everybody on the call just to make sure that people aren't just jumping in or talking over each other. So if you do have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to write them in the chat and I'll answer them throughout if possible. And if not, I will get to every single one at the end of the webinar if there are any questions. All right, so let's get started. The first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to jump into one of your D3M projects. So this is one I currently own and have been working on, and I need to now get some help from my colleagues. So the first thing I'll show you is that where you can add different notes in D3M. So one place you can add them is actually on the devices themselves. So if you double click any property, or any device, sorry, it'll bring up the properties. So I'm going to double click this D3M portable, and if you scroll down, you can see a little note section here. This is where you might want to mention say these 100 radios are for housekeeping. You might want to put a note saying radios for housekeeping staff, and then you can head back out here. It'll save automatically for you, and a little icon here will appear to let you or anybody else looking at your project know that there's a note on that device itself. So this is just a great place to outline any details you might have about something or highlight something that you really want to make sure is captured to your customers or your other colleagues or installers. The next place you can add notes is right up here, this little book icon. This is sort of where all the master notes and comments will live. So say you send this to a colleague and they want to get caught up easily on things that have been happening, this would be a good place to check out. So if we click this here, what you'll notice is there's both a section for notes and for comments. I'll dive into the note part first, and then we'll move on to comments after that. So if you want to add notes, simply click right here, and you could write in anything you want. So you could say, customer has a staff of 100, but has some subcontractors as well who may need radios. So this is just something you found out from the actual team themselves, from the customers, from actually doing your customer research and talking to them. So you know, okay, there's 100 staff that they have on hand all the time, but they're probably looking into some extra radios because they do have subcontractors that they need to have use these at times. Another thing that you can do here is you can actually format your notes. So instead of it just being a block of paragraphs and everything, we've added the ability to bold things, add bullet points and things like that. So if you want to know how to do that, simply click Formatting Help, and this will pull up our help article we wrote about how to actually format your notes. So I won't go over all of these, but I can show you something quick. So say we want to bold something, it's showing that you simply put 2 asterisks on each side of the text you want to bold. So if we hop back to our notes and say we want to put subcontractors in bold, we just are going to put the asterisks right here and right here. And when we click save, you'll notice that that is bolded. So again, all of these things will be right here, you know, italics, strike through, anything you want, a bulleted list, a numbered list, etc. It's all listed here and tells you how to do it. And anytime if you click on here, you can click Formatting Help and it will show you how to do it. So say this is our note, we'll quickly save that. The next thing that you have is comments. So say you want to let somebody in your staff know, okay, I need your help on this, or can you fill out this information because you're the engineer, so I have a technical question, or the engineer has a sales question for the sales team. They can actually tag these people so they know that they need to answer a question or something. The only thing here is if the person you're tagging has to have an active D3M account. You can't just tag anybody. So say you want to tag your colleague Tim, but Tim doesn't have an account, then unfortunately no notification will happen because D3M won't know where to send it. But that's why with our plans, you get 1 to 5 users, 10 users. We want to get your whole team on it as much as possible. And this way you can easily tag them. So I'll give you an example. So we see that there's already a comment here that says, we need the customer's rack details. How much space do they have available on their current rack? So I was putting together the project and I went to the rack diagram, but I knew that they had only a certain amount of space available because part of their rack is already being used. So I'm asking, how much space is there available on the rack? And I realized, oh, I didn't tag somebody to answer this question, so they don't know it's here. So say I need to tag our engineer here, and that is Chris Mulcahy. Well, we'll put that here and say, I can just say see question below. And once you click save, you'll see down here that it says at Chris Mulcahy and also says what I added, see question below. And now what happens is he'll actually automatically get an email to himself that says, Amanda mentioned you in a comment on D3M project. It'll name the project. It'll also tell him what the comment said. So he'll see that I said see question below. And it will also let him click into the project that I am referring to. So he doesn't have to go and try and find the project. It'll automatically bring him there and he'll just have to click the book icon we were using before to access the comments. And then hopefully he'll write a comment back and I'll get a notification that it's been answered. So this is a great tool. Like I said, if engineering staff and sales are working together or 2 engineers are working together, the installer went on site and had to write a comment. It's just a great way to work back and forth with each other and make sure that people are held accountable and that you get the notifications so you don't have to constantly check every project to see if, oh, I needed to answer this or someone needed my help. They can actually tag you and let you know that, hey, I need your help on this. Please get back to it when you can. The last bit of collaboration that's in D3M, which is probably the one that people use the most, is actually being able to share your projects. The nice thing with this is you can share with people in your organization and who have D3M, but you can also share with anybody, regardless of if they have a D3M account or not. This is a new feature we added because we know sometimes you want to share it with your customer so they can see things in real time. So how you do that is simply click this nice orange button here that says collaborate. And here will be the 2 different ways you can collaborate on your D3M project. As you can see here, this is a share link. And at the end, it says read only. This is the one link that you can send to anybody, regardless of if they have a D3M account or not. You simply click copy link and send them that link in an email, a chat, add it to your proposal even. And this will allow them to access the project, but with the read only, they are not able to make any edits, changes, or share it with anyone. Also, say you send it to somebody and you realize, oh, I don't want them to have access to this right now, simply click generate new link. And once you do that, the access will be revoked for anybody who had the link you sent previously. So this is a great way to make sure you have control over who can actually view the project and taking that away if needed. The last way you can share is here with somebody who actually has a D3M account. So say I want to share it with Brina because I need some of her help on the project, or I've done my part of the project, now I want to pass some stuff off to her. That's great. So as you can see, it shows only people who have a D3M account in my organization. Once I've selected who I want to send it to, I then click their sharing privileges. So there's a couple options. You can say that, oh, I only want Brina to view it, which is similar to this read only, which means they can't edit, share, or do anything. I can say that I allow her to edit stuff in the project. I can also allow her to edit and share, meaning she can share this again with someone else, or I can actually completely transfer ownership to her. This is a great option when, say, I'm sales and I've finished putting in all the information, but now I need engineering to take over and build it. That's when you can transfer ownership. I would say, okay, Brina, this is now transferring ownership to you. Click that, click share. The ownership will now be hers, and she'll receive an email saying, hey, Amanda shared a D3M project with you for you to be the owner, and then there'll be a link for her to click and get into that project. So those are the main ways that I believe that collaboration is strong in D3M. So they're having the notes, having the ability to put comments, having the ability to tag people in comments and mention them to get help, as well as being able to share your project with a D3M account and also with those who do not have a D3M account. So that comes in handy if you need to share it with a customer, a big boss who doesn't necessarily need to use D3M on a daily basis, but might want to see a project or anything like that. It's a great way to share it without them having to have an account, but you do get the most out of it working together with other users having a D3M account. So that is why all of our plans have more than one user, just because the whole point of D3M is to be able to collaborate as a team. So those were the main highlights for today. Kept it nice and short for you guys. Just wanted to highlight how we can collaborate in D3M. Thank you so much for attending and have a great day.